Have you ever wondered, when the very first ideas of gods appeared, why do humans believe in a creator? For some people, this belief goes beyond faith. For them, the idea that God might not exist is simply unthinkable. People with this belief are called theists. Of course, there are also people with the exact opposite view. Atheism rejects any belief in gods entirely, and there are those who say we simply cannot know whether a creator exists or not, no matter the evidence. This is called agnosticism. While this may seem simple, in reality, there are thousands of different belief systems. But has belief in gods always existed? Let's explore together. The oldest archaeological findings in human history, dating back roughly 100,000 years, show us Neanderthals. Archaeologists discovered that Neanderthal graves were consciously and carefully dug. The bodies were placed in specific positions, and items like food, tools, and bones were left alongside them. This suggests that it wasn't necessarily about belief in gods, but rather about showing respect for the dead and a clear awareness of mortality. Some argue that the items were left because they believed in an afterlife, but this cannot be confirmed. The next stage is animism. Around 40,000 years ago, humans painted caves with images of half-human, half-animal beings, massive animal figures, and ritual scenes. These are often interpreted as shamanic and represent the earliest ideas of supernatural forces and spirits. Still, there's no clear evidence of belief in gods at this point. Supernatural beings. This is where symbolism comes in. Around 35,000 years ago, certain remarkable figures appear. Lion Man of Hohenstein-Stadel, Venus of Willendorf, Trois Frères Cave. Here, the idea shifts from there is a spirit in nature to there is a specific powerful being. These figures likely represented sacred powers connected to fertility, birth, and the cycle of life. Again, we cannot say for certain that there was belief in gods. Göbekli Tepe, considered the oldest known monumental temple complex, Göbekli Tepe shows highly organized construction and is interpreted as a ritual and social gathering site. Symbolic art is highly developed. It's the earliest example of an organized sacred space, but we still cannot definitively say that people worshipped a god here. Enough history for now. So, when did the first definite idea of gods appear? Sumerians, Anu, Enlil, Inanna, Enki, Ninhursag, Utu, Nana. They had a polytheistic belief system. There were roughly 50 to 100 gods, though the numbers varied. Each city had its own deity. If you think they made every discovery into a god, that's not true. The Sumerians systematized the powers they observed. They didn't just deify everything. They recognized forces like the sun, moon, water, and storms, and personified them with will, personality, and influence. That's how they conceived of gods. What about monotheism? Judaism, one God, Yahweh. Concepts of afterlife, divine laws, and prophets. Judaism was influenced by earlier myths and Mesopotamian traditions but created a new system. Later, Christianity and finally Islam emerged, building upon this foundation. We can cover these religions in another video. Overall, this is a basic explanation of how belief in gods came about. Of course, covering everything in a single video would take hours, and honestly, I wouldn't watch that either. Leave a comment. I'm really curious about your thoughts. By the way, I can talk about literally anything. Don't be surprised. Subscribe.